Welcome. This session is powered by the Global Talent Solution, supported by leaders of all nations. Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs, Helping Hand Foundation, Explore London, Global International Alliance, Ladies of All Nation, Global Foundation, RM Infinite and Dream Bigger. Today's host is Dr. Jaya Sajnani, and the guests are Dr. Abdulnassir Al Tamimi, Andress, and Dyna Fayz. Enjoy the session.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session, which is the last and sixth episode of the Business Success Strategies program. I am Dr. Jaya Sajnani. I'm a mom, entrepreneur, author, founder, and CEO of YG Travel, Helping Hands Foundation, Explore London, and co-founder of Global Talent Solution Hub. GTS. Yes, GTS is a non-profit organization with a vision to create a future where talent knows no boundaries. We believe that every individual, regardless of their background, circumstances, should have access to quality education, training, and opportunities to excel their chosen field. We serve as a bridge between the education system and the talent across the globe. We offer a study abroad program, cultural exchange program, and the study exchange program, which foster the connection and understanding between the individuals from diverse background, and online speaking sessions like today's one, which you are attending, where students and professionals can engage with the industry experts and thought leaders from around the globe. Today's session is about leadership excellence. So learn how to inspire teams towards the success. Before we start today's session, I would like to express my huge gratitude to the supporters. Without them, this project would not be possible. They are Leaders of All Nation International, founded by Professor Caroline Makaka. We have another supporter, Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs from USA, GIA, Global Institute of Alliances, again from USA, and founded by Dr. Leonard Peterson, Dr. Randy Ward, who has an amazing organization, Dream Bigger Institute, and RM Infinity. They are the full-time supporter to the GTS. And don't forget, Lily and Harry, who has amazing organization. It's called Speakers Are Leaders, isn't it? That's it. So a bit of the logistic. Please kindly put yourself as a muted until and unless we ask you to ask a question. Please don't unmute yourself, because that respect our speakers to speak what they want to present it here. Also, the people who are watching us live, please don't forget to say hello and put some comments from where you're logging in, because as Global Talent Solution is a very much global institute. So our first guest, don't forget, it's amazing. Let's read about that first guest. Our first guest, I am going to talk about, and you guys need to guess it. So she is a president and CEO of Kaizen Solution LLC. She's a quantum leader, advisor, empowering leader for personal and collective growth. She's a humanized workplace through the Kaizen philosophy, fostering well-being and continued innovation. She's also an author of Kaizen, Breathing Life into Leadership, advocating for fulfilling sustainable culture. Her name is Andress. Inger, please welcome to the floor and give us that valuable learning you have been collecting since years of the experience to our audience.
Oh, thank you so much for this opportunity with such lovely people. I just really enjoy how much you are giving this to so many people around the world for free, and very generous of the Global Talent Solution team. So thank you for inviting me to this Business Success Strategy series. And as a global leadership advisor, also have authored a couple different books. So today I really want to help us understand and embrace what is arising for the next generation of business leaders. And we need to really start to understand, to adapt and come from a higher consciousness that does consider the well-being of all, especially with AI coming into the picture and to the scene as well. So I have coined this as not only quantum leadership, but also 5D leadership, whatever you want to call it. But it is a transformative journey. And so part of just trying to understand why I've even called it that, I think it's important to understand a little bit of a science lesson here, because I think this is vital, actually. So quantum field, if you recall, there was a scientific revolution in the 1500s where the main spokesperson was Isaac Newton. Brilliant, right? But he ended up giving us a picture of the universe that he said was divided into two separate realms. There was the energy realm, invisible energy, and then the physical material realm. And then basically he took out that invisible realm and said that just the only thing is matter just affects matter, and energy really isn't a part of that matter. And so that atomic level is really key, because it actually then, since the 1500s, we have taken that invisible spiritual side out of life a lot of times. So being able to understand this helps us to know that now with quantum physics in this modern day, we've realized that in the Newtonian era, that was incorrect. We need to actually understand that, like, for instance, if you take those atoms apart and find out that there's like this little solar system that has a nucleus, protons, electrons floating around, but when quantum physics comes into the picture, it's asks, how are these smaller pieces moving and what are they made from? This brought us back to understanding that everything is made of energy. So it's not just matter, it's energy as well. And so understanding that we have been ignoring this energy field and vibrations and gotten so out of touch with what really is going on that it has driven humanity and businesses into a materialistic realm that has been sucking the life out of us as people and causing really overall a deep hopelessness with life. And so I think this is vital for us to understand in the future as leaders of businesses globally, of understanding what makes people tick and how to keep your business sustainable with the workforce that you're guiding as leaders. And so this ultimately, in quantum physics, one of the main principles is consciousness is now creating our life experiences where it shapes the character of our lives. This is huge. So leaders must start to be aware and shift into these principles. So for instance, if I were to break that down into real, there's a biologist named Bruce Lipton who recently helped us understand in his experiments that our brain is actually, so if you, mental pictures in our mind is actually translated by our brain into complementary chemistry. So for example, love, there's a chemistry for love, there's a chemistry for fear, for anger. So whatever picture you hold in your mind, the brain releases chemistry that matches the picture and releases it into your body. And then these cells are signaled more by your mind than your genes. So this has a word named epigenetics. So basically you can shift how you're viewing and looking at something and actually make your body change chemically depending upon what you create in your mind. A lot of us have heard manifestation, various things, words that are out there. He even showed on an MEG, which is a magnetic electroencephalogram probe outside the brain that shows there are these fields of energy that are showing this activity. So again, as we dive into more of this global leadership, influencing for next generation is a call to start to understand, just as there is quantum particles that exhibit entanglement, we need to start collaborating together, the ecosystems of our companies, and understand what the purpose and collective success we can come up with together and the synergy that is needed to do that. So I just want to share that again. What does this look like? Well, it means that as leaders, we need to take time in our own lives and create space, a clearing of the mind, however that looks for you, but the clearing of your energetic field so that you can start to connect to your essence, to really hear what your inner oracle, your wisdom that's coming through, decluttering the space in your brain daily, not just, it'll be nice every once in a while. However that looks for you. Some people meditate, some people do qigong, some people do different yoga practices, or even gardening or painting, or something that allows you to get into a space that empties the mind clutter and clears your energetic field so you can intuitively and teleport more directly, guide you and give you wisdom to create and be a visionary of helping create a world that is collaborative and successful for all that you are leading. And so really understanding that, transmuting your thoughts to a higher level of consciousness helps you create your business organization succeed. That's a mind-blowing thought, but I really believe that we need to get to that place right now because we have been keeping that away from the general way we do things. Business is how that archaic phrase that allowed us to justify things that were inhumane. That no longer is what we're trying to go for here globally. So, and as you're going forward in this mindset, understand that part of business is you will have doubts, you'll have fears, and that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't mean that bad things are happening. It's just part of you calmly starting to understand those thoughts are going to come in and go out. But how do you actually shift those thoughts? Taking time every day. You can't fake this. This has to be authentic in your life. You have to walk the talk. You can't just say that this is something that you're doing, because it will be very clear if you're able to be stable, calm, and focused during things that are volatile. In fact, I want to kind of go to the next place of understanding that this next level of leadership for us to get and be consciously aware of will help a lot of the global challenges that we're having. And I call it VUCA leadership, VUCA. And this is where that's a subcategory under quantum leadership. So in order to do this, you have to be at a place where you have your daily practice that gives you the calmness to handle these things, because understand, it'll only increase more right now. It feels that our world has a volatility. So V stands for volatility. That reminds us that change is not just constant, but it can be rapid, unpredictable, and we need to learn how to be agile, to adapt swiftly, and still have allow it to be an opportunity for innovation and growth. And the people that we lead will watch how we're able to adapt to that, right? So that's V. U stands for uncertainty. We all know that inherent part of our reality is understanding there's a lot of uncertainty. And so as we transition with trying to find out more solutions for global success for all, we need to be okay with uncertainty and not look at it as a barrier, but actually as a canvas for creativity again. And so our influence becomes a compass and provides direction even in the face of the unknown. C stands for complexity. So we know that, that with AI and all the things that starts to be complex, there's an interplay of factors in our global landscape. Influencing means unraveling complexities, finding simplicity in chaos, and clarity amidst webs of challenges. And so that's a really key thing. And then, of course, A stands for ambiguity. This acknowledges that clear answers are very important as we lead through things that are ambiguous. And so becoming, again, able to have those times where we clear our energy fields, we are able to envision and paint something that helps us to move past and through those challenges and move forward and give that vision to the people. There's an ancient philosophy with the Toltec people that says there are two different types of people. One, there are tonals who have an attitude of being a victim of their circumstances or life situation and feel stuck, okay? And then there's the second type of person that are called Naguals, who are the artists of their own life, and they paint their own masterpiece through their own cultivation of intent, and that they're able to change their own perception of life, which in turn starts to change the circumstances around them. So this is part of, I know we're short on time. There's a story I have that's very true and real of something that has happened in this world that allowed there to be a pretty amazing intuitive way of understanding. Just in brief, it has to do with a community in Africa who needed water, and so it was actually the wise women who were very intuitive, who had visions of this large lake underground, and there was a great resistance because it would have cost a lot of money to dig. But this one leader who came into their village listened and heard that and gave the tools. And sure enough, when they dug under that area where the visions were, there was a huge lake that not only provided water for their village, but for 16 other villages besides theirs. And so this is that part that we need to embrace, just as we said with quantum physics, that it's no longer the old-fashioned matter is just matter. No, it needs energy. In fact, everything is energy, and we need to start to be aware of our own energy and how we can shift and change that and allow that to influence and allow visions for those that we're leading to see something that's bigger than ourselves, that can actually transform and transmute fear into innovation and uncertainty into creativity. And so that is a wonderful gift. But it, again, can't be, it can't be fake. You can't fake it. It has to be something that you are committed to in your life, and you make time that you set aside to allow your mind space to open, to have that freedom of thought and creativity, and to be intuitively led. So I just want to leave with a quote. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, and do more, and become more, you are a leader. So I just want to encourage all to pioneer with these fresh and relevant solutions for your team and for your business. And let's encourage each other on this path as we move through these global challenges. So thank you so much again for letting me be here.
Thank you so much, Inger and Andress. So we have 200 live viewers who have seen your session, and I'm sure you all have taken down the note, because I have learned a lot. This was actually a science lesson for me. I didn't know this, but that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Inger, for showing us a different perspective of the leadership with your experience. And viewers, don't forget, the quantum theory, and that was wonderful energy. Yes, I do believe that our actions or has the reaction, and that's first thing we have learned in every science sessions. But what here we learned is the leadership is not just what you're doing, but what energy actually you are broadcasting to the audience, to showing, and then people see your energy, people follow your energy, and the energy has to be a good intention, because leaders, as very nicely Inger has put it forward, that if your action inspire others to do more, to act more, to inspire them more, then you are a leader. That's it. Such a simple way of putting this amazing leadership excellence thought. Thank you so much, Inger. That's wonderful. Audience, I just want to let you know we have a speaker, which Dyna Fayz as well here. Hello, Dyna. I hope you are fine with the presentation and everything is ready. Our next speaker at the moment is Dr. Abdulnassir. Give me some time to read about this guy. Dr. Abdulnassir, I don't know where to start. I had a very brief meeting with him previously before this session, and I was amazed to see that people, how, and that's called the quality of the leadership. More higher you go, more their roots are grounded on the earth. So, who is Dr. Abdulnassir Al Tamimi? He's the Executive Director of the Student Services at Qatar Foundation Higher Education. He's a seasoned education administrator with a proven track record in higher primary, secondary education. He's a proficient in the student affairs, academic affairs, and curriculum development, excels in the program evaluation, strategic planning, organization development. He holds an education degree in higher education administrator from University of Texas at Austin. He's also committed to enhancing education experience and fostering student success in culturally rich environment. So let's welcome Dr. Abdulnassir on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me? Thank you so much, Dr. Jaya,
Yes.
for the wonderful introduction. I'm really, really honored to serve on this wonderful panel with outstanding panelists. So again, I thank you for this great opportunity. I'm a proud Longhorn from the University of Texas. I'm not happy with what's going on in Texas right now, but I'm very proud of all the students, the faculty members that are doing what is right for humanity. So I'm very proud of them. Again, I want to thank you. I know I only have about 5 to 7 minutes. So I will start briefly by describing my understanding. So I'm not really going to get into the theory part as the previous speaker, who was just wonderful. So thank you for sharing all that. I'm going to get more into the practical part of leadership and the experiences that I've had as a leader, if I have more time. So I'll briefly be describing my understanding of leadership excellence, and then share, in my opinion, the qualities of an effective leader. Now, these are qualities that I've tried to emulate myself as much as possible, and also as a person, because I believe you don't have to have a title in order to lead. We are all leaders, and everything that we do, we're all leaders. And then later on during the Q&As, hopefully I will give examples of how these qualities have helped me and the teams that I have led or continue to lead right now, achieve excellence and success. So let me begin by saying, what is leadership excellence? It's not something, leadership is not something that you're born with. There's some born leaders. Some of you may know who they are. I can name a few. One of them is, for instance, Barack Obama. He is just a born leader. However, I strongly believe that leadership is a skill that is developed over time with so much experience. And I can tell you my experiences. I've made so many mistakes along the way. I have, blamed myself for some of the mistakes I've had, but not knowing in my younger years that these are lessons that you learn as a leader. These are what will make you a successful leader. Secondly, everyone, in my opinion, as you have heard, is a leader. You have heard that saying that leadership is not a position, but rather an action. So you can have the title, for example, in my scope of work in education or in higher education, you can be a president, a vice president, a dean, a chair, and so forth. But really, if you don't possess those critical leadership qualities, skills, and people are not following you, just like the previous speaker said, then you're really not leading and you're not a leader. If your followers are not following you, then you're really not a leader. Also, no great leader can say that they've never failed or made mistakes. As a leader, you have to accept. Most successful leaders have failed not once, but many times. And I can give you examples of myself as well. But what distinguishes those great leaders, what distinguishes them, is that they do not give up. They fail, they fall, they rise, they learn from their mistakes, and they just move on. So again, what is the definition of leadership excellence? Leadership excellence, to me, in my opinion, is when a person in a leadership position consistently shows outstanding performance, works hard, and not only hard, but works hard at the same time, has to be or is a great role model to those that he's leading. This is someone who consistently mentors, enjoys mentoring, motivating, and impacting the people that he is leading to reach their maximum potential. And not only those that he's leading, he could be even those that are his colleagues, or those that work with him in the same organization. You just have to enjoy, coaching and mentoring and seeing people grow. Excellent leaders get things done, period. I was just listening to a speech by Barack Obama recently, and he said, if you want people to respect you as a leader, you gotta get things done. And so you should not only talk the talk, but you should walk your talk. When you say that you're going to do something, then you will find ways to get it done, no matter how hard it is, how difficult it is. You just have to maneuver and make sure that when you say, I'm going to do this, then you have to get this done. And that's excellent leadership. That's when you gain when you earn the respect from your peers and also your direct reports and the people that you lead. Also, they not only think of what needs to get done today, but great and excellent leaders think all year long, and perhaps even further than that. They prepare, and I'm one of them. I can tell you, I prepare a to-do list every day, but I also have a to-do list or an action items for the entire year, sometimes even longer than that. And that's when, when you talk about vision, when you talk about your goals and all that, you meet with your team, you can discuss all that, and then you can go back and evaluate, what you have done. How much have you done? How much have you successfully accomplished? What are some of the things that you were not able to accomplish? And then excellent leaders also must really, really care about the personal and professional growth or development of their team members, their colleagues, and so forth. You just have to, again, care about them, care about seeing them grow. You have to provide them with platforms, with tools, with the right coaching, to make sure that you are basically giving them the opportunities to grow, and not only professionally, but personally as well. That's when you have to, let them know that you're human, that they can come to you, they can talk to you about anything, so that they can feel very comfortable being with you or being around you. And you can help them with their personal growth. And it goes both ways, by the way. You can learn so much from them as well. They can also help you, with your personal growth and your professional development. At the same time, and this is the last thing that I'm going to talk, and then later on, what you see on the slides there are basically the really qualities of effective and excellent leaders that I can talk about them later on. But the last one that I think is being lost in today's world amongst the leaders, especially the top leaders, especially in politics, our leaders, is, they're not as ethical as that. So a strong leader or a great leader must possess a strong moral compass. And they must be ethical, they must be honest, they must be truthful, again, stand for truth, even if it is going to affect their position, even if they know that this is going to harm them and maybe their careers as well, but stand for what is right, fight for what is right, fight for the right and the justice of the people that you lead and the people that are around you. This to me is leadership excellence.
Wow. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdulnassir. So, hey, we have 300 plus live viewer who are watching you guys, and amazing. I have taken lots of notes, as like we took it notes for that from the Inder speech as well. Now we have a Dr. Abdulnassir who has actually given the practicality of the leadership and how a leader look like. Yes, a leader. I have taken the note and I'm going to read out the very first thing which touched my heart is what Barack Obama said, the speech, what Dr. Abdulnassir has reiterated in his wording, that people will only respect you, not because what you're saying, not because what you're promising, but you are sticking to it. You are doing that, what you're saying. Your words should match with your action, or your action must match with your words. So walk it through, yes. And visionary. It is very important that if you are thinking of the career or even supporting anybody to lead, please be visionary, not just for you. See the bigger picture, because end of the day, if you don't know where you want to reach, how are you going to make your journey? Which path you're going to select? Where to walk? And leading is a bigger responsibility than even bringing up the child. Trust me, because the person who's following you, the organization or the team who's following you as a leader, these people are at your mercy. You are the light which you are showing them which way to walk. So it's a bigger responsibility that you're not just leading yourself, but you're leading the whole big people who are trusting you. And that's where Dr. Abdulnassir has very nicely echoed the same thing what Inger and Andress mentioned it, saying that kind, compassionate, and humble. And that's the energy, right? Your intention has to be right, not to control someone. You are not a manager. You are a leader. And to become an excellent leader, you have to have that from your heart, from the intention, right to support, to serve. And this is what the qualities of the leadership excellence. Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Abdulnassir. And hello, audience. Now we have a very last, but the very important speaker today. Her name is Dyna Fayz, and let me talk about her. I met her in one of the events. She is, oh my God, she is a dynamic TV presenter skilled in producing live and recorded shows in Arabic and English language. Wow, multi-languages. She has years of expertise in broadcast journalism. Dyna is a founder of the prestigious Ladies London Club, championing women worldwide and fostering empowerment and inspiration. She's also a founder of DF Luxury Brands Consultancy, facilitating connections between Gulf luxury brands and the European retail market, particularly in the UK. She's committed to elevating women and bringing international market. So welcome, Dyna Fayz. Thank you so much.
Hello, thank you very much for the introduction. I'm so happy to be here. Despite the fact that I've got some problems at the moment with my connection, I'm actually abroad, and I do apologize if you can't, I mean, I can't see anybody, but as long as you can see me and hear me, that's what's important. But no, thank you so much for today. And it's amazing listening to the amazing speakers that you have at the moment, and to be I mean, I'm very privileged to be with yourselves here at on this platform. Now, let me just give you a very quick brief about who I am actually. I mean, obviously, I think you've probably looked at my LinkedIn profile, but
Yes.
I'm actually also I'm a lecturer at Anglia Ruskin University, so I teach mathematics part-time on Mondays and Tuesdays. Because my degree is in civil engineering, and then I went into media. I worked with the BBC, with several other TV companies as well, in both Arabic and English. Then decided to sort of step away a bit from journalism and create a platform for myself, more about, like you said, women empowerment and leadership. And therefore I founded the prestigious Ladies London Club, which had been around for about probably 3 years now. And then alongside that, obviously, I've got my little other brands and businesses, and then lately I'm a UN women delegate. So I am like an ambassador, you know, so if I talk on behalf of my little community and share our, you know, sort of aspirations and so on. But I find myself very sort of, let's just say, with my expertise in comparison to your speakers, I find myself like a little drop in the ocean with all the amazing you know, sort of speakers that you've got. But yet again, I might bring something forward to this amazing platform. So basically, in leadership, how do I look at it? And if I wanted to sort of define it, I mean, I'm more inclined to sort of describe leadership as more of a facilitator rather than be a leader, because as a leader, you are facilitating opportunities for others. And I think, is it Dr. Is it Ingrid? I think she mentioned something about being positivity and having that quantum sort of energy of positivity. And this is exactly what it's all about. You know, being a leader, you've got to have that positive energy about you, because when you're actually positive, you are actually exemplifying everything from integrity to earning the trust of others, and also you're setting high standards for everyone who you're actually dealing with. And with that positive energy and enthusiasm, which I'm described as always having positive energy and enthusiasm whenever I'm doing something new, I feel that it does actually deeply connect you with whether it's your team or whether it's your customers or whether your members. And that's what I believe makes you sort of a facilitator, you know, being a leader. As a woman who has a family myself, I've got 2 girls. I always say to my daughters, if you wanted to actually succeed in anything and feel, you know, you want to sort of be proud of anything you achieve in your life, always be a leader and never a follower. Why? Because when you lead, you inspire and aspire others to do things. When you lead, you are taking on more challenges in your life. And what makes you stronger is what makes you who you are. And that's why this is what successful leaders are all about. It's how you actually try and bring up, especially women, because I am all about women empowerment. It's very important to actually, you know, sort of try and plant these fantastic ideas about being, you know, sort of powerful, being intelligent, being able to stand up for yourself from a young age, because as you grow older and as you start taking in all these experiences, you find yourself that you are ready to go out there and face the world. And because women at the moment, I feel that have always got some kind of challenges to face, whether the challenge of being married and having a family and trying to be able to have a career, or whether the challenge of actually going into education and carrying on with your education, doing your master's or your PhD. And all of these are challenges. We will always have these challenges. But yet, if you actually start believing in yourself and knowing that with that resilience, and with the fact that you've got these qualities that have been instilled inside of you, from being sort of brought up in such an environment, I think that's what will help you sort of conquer whatever comes across to in your lifetime. I myself haven't got all of this experience behind me, whether I'm teaching at the university or maybe leading, with the prestigious Ladies London Club, or doing other things that I really do enjoy. I've actually faced a lot of obstacles and a lot of challenges, and I think the obstacles and challenges, being as a leader, because that's what you have to be at the end of the day, have actually sort of come from, let's just say, those that wish to maybe want to do your job, I think, and want to be that who you are. But I think with having sort of had that sort of mental positivity about me, and the fact that, I can still be positive and I can still do whatever I want to do in my life, I've actually managed to overcome it. Another thing that I wanted to say is when you surround yourself with great people, and this is very, very important, being an excellent leader, when you surround yourself with great people who are not afraid to challenge me, because you will find those that will come and challenge you. And that's what I mean by, facing challenges. I did face a lot of challenges, and there were a lot that were challenging me for my decision making, for, sort of coming up with some, some changes within the sort of the ladies club, let's say, for example, or even in my teaching career. There's always been those that wanted to challenge me, but I always wanted to try and focus on my end goal. And by focusing on my end goal, which is achieving what I want to achieve, I've actually managed to sort of overcome it. And I think it's important to have that really important balance between things that work for you and things that don't work for you. So, for example, having good friends and having people that are always around you and always supporting you, in return having those that challenges you, I think that's a very good combination in a way, and it will help to balance and give you more sort of ownership and also, purpose to carry on with what you're doing. But I have a very sort of interesting life that I've actually gone through in my lifetime, in my career. But again, like I said, what's very important, because I don't want to go through all its, I've had ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I think what's important is just getting that mental attitude, staying positive, having these important, incredible people around you. And in order for you to be an important leader, just be a facilitator rather than just be only a leader, because leadership is all about compassion.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Dyna. That was an amazing session. Hey, we reached 450 live viewers while watching this session online. And that's amazing. People are learning, and you guys are true leaders, because just I want to tell everyone, this is a non-profit organization, and every single person who is presenting here are doing out of their goodwill. Here, nobody's getting paid, but they have that good intention of serving the community. And that's where our three brilliant speakers taken out that time from the daily schedule and here to serve you. So I have taken full advantage. Trust me, I have taken lots of notes. Now I'm going to just let you know, if you have forgotten that taken notes, Dyna has mentioned about the new perspective of being a leader is the facilitator. Yes, and I agree somewhat what she said. She echoed again what Inger mentioned, it, the energy, and the energy has to be positive. The leader, what she mentioned, it that was really touchy to me. Don't be a follower, be a leader, because when you're a leader, when the situation comes where you have to be in charge, that aspires you, that pushes you to come out from your comfort zone. And that is a real test. Don't give up. True to your words. Take the words, take the promise, and walk it through, as Dr. Abdulnassir has mentioned it as well. And surround yourself with the people, not just who are so goody-goody to you and saying you, yes, well done, but there should be a balance where people tell you and literally challenge you and give you a constructive, creative feedback. Because end of the day, we only learn if we know what we are doing wrong, right? Yes. So Fantastic session for today. We have a pre-questions from our audience. Thank you so much, everyone. So my first question is, what specific qualities or traits do you believe are essential for achieving leadership excellence? I know many of you have already covered it, but I would like a kind of a summary if, from your experience, if you can share. Who would like to go first?
I can
Inger?
go first. Oh, Inger? Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
Thank
Are
you.
you sure? Okay, very good. So, I mean, I can, I briefly shared with you some of those very important qualities for, you know, that shows exemplary leadership. I'll talk about, you know, I can talk about visionary, which we all know. I can talk about a great communicator. I can talk about, you know, somebody who is ethical and all that. We can talk about all that. But I'll briefly share with you some of the experiences that I've had as a leader, and I think have made me successful all these years that I've worked in community colleges, universities, schools, and now at Qatar Foundation. You know, some of the things that I really, you know, think is important is to show you know, the people that you lead that you are a human being. You know, I try as much as possible to always have a great sense of humor. I always smile, and my door is open all the time. You know, everybody comes to my office from, you know, faculty, staff, students. They come, sometimes they just come say hello because, you know, sometimes they just come because they want to see my smile. And so that it was very important. You know, I just wanted people to feel very comfortable, and you know, they can approach me if they have any problems, whether they have personal problems or you know, professional problems, if they have any challenges. This way, you know, they feel motivated. They always told me that, you know, I want to come to work the next day. It wasn't like that, you know, previously, but now with you being on board, I'm excited. I want to come to work, you know, and when we invite them to serve on committees, even if it's not part of their responsibilities, they're there to, you know, support me and support the institutions that we work with. I always try to empower my team members. You know, I give them these platforms or opportunities for them to grow, to showcase their knowledge, their skills, so that way they can learn and grow. They can also you know, be able to showcase their themselves to new people or the people that work in the same organization, and can, you know, move up or eventually move on as well. Some of the things that I enjoy doing, and it's just part of me, my personality, is compliments. You know, I compliment good work all the time, and I try to do that as much as possible in front of their colleagues. It just, you know, you have no idea, you know, when you compliment someone, how good they feel. And then, you know, you also encourage them and provide them with the support all the time. You know, but most importantly is that I try to be consistent in my actions. You know, I cannot be happy one day and then the next day I'm not happy. I cannot be smiling one day and the next day. I cannot be quiet one day. The next day I'm so loud. You know, this is me. This is who you're gonna get. I come every day as Abdulnassir. We are a team, you know, and so forth. So I treat people, first of all, I let them know that I'm vulnerable. You know, that, you know, I'm a human being. If I do make mistakes, I am not afraid to say, I'm sorry. And they really appreciate that. You just have no idea how much, you know, that touches them as well. And, you know, I make sure that I treat everybody equally, and I treat them the way I want to be treated. And so these are some of my just personal, I can go on and on and on, but I know we have, want to hear from the other presenters.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Abdul. Inger, would you like to add something, or Diana?
I just love the idea that very much similar. And of course, you
Mhm.
you brought on some beautiful people here, and I'm just honored to be with them as well. And so, listening, right? A wonderful listener, someone that really wants to like, and I've heard this from all of you, is that they truly care, and that we want to hear, and are open-minded to hear those other ideas and other perspectives is so important, and to know that their life matters, right? And so making sure then, so a short phrase for Kaizen Solutions is humanizing the workplace for the well-being of all. So really humanizing in a way of respecting their humanity and listening to it. So yeah, I think
Fantastic.
everyone's doing such a great job. I really don't have a whole lot more to
Yes.
share. Go for it.
Thank you so much. Dinah, would you like to add anything, or we can move to the next one then?
I think you've all sort of covered quite a lot about sort of the excellence in leadership. But I think one important one, and I saw also a comment down there. I personally think that you have to also be a motivator. It's very important to be a motivator, because you've really got to motivate others and encourage them in achieving their goals. Without the motivation, I don't think you'll have them a lot sort of taking a bit of a slack attitude, and they'll just want to do things their way. But if you keep motivating others and being so excited and positive again about sort of what they're trying to achieve and aspire to achieve, I think that's very important. And I think one was said here by somebody that's joining us, is recognition. I think to recognize again, their abilities and what they're able to bring to the table, and their, sort of what they have, sort of in mind to achieve. I think that's also very important. But yeah, that's my part there.
Wow, that's fantastic. So the question was asked, what specific quality and traits do you believe are essential for achieving leader excellence? And the answer we got, amazing. Just be human. Yes, and that's what touches us. When animals are not changing their trait, anything else creature, they don't change their trait. Why we human change ourselves and be something else other than human, right? That's the question we need to think about. Being a leader, you have to be human, and human quality comes with a compassionate, empathy, touch the ground. Just put yourself in other people's shoes and see what would you like. As very nicely, all three of speakers has echo same thing. Compliment quite often. Be consistent. Be vulnerable if needed to be. Say sorry. It's not going to kill you by accepting your mistake, because once you accept it, that's the start that you are going to move forward. And as Dinah mentioned it, recognizing as well. And yes, being a servant leader, one of our guests as well has mentioned it, they are amazing traits. So let's move on to next question now. Next question is, can you share a personal experience that illustrates the impact of effective leadership on organizational success? So who would like to go first, please? Let me pick Dinah.
So obviously going back to sort of being a founder of the prestigious Ladies London Club, I think sort of making it a success. I believe it is a success, is when having managed to make a dream come true. And it's literally, that's what it is, making a dream come true for a lot of these women that wants to have some kind of a brand or startup business that they wanted to sort of create and sort of manage and make happen. We actually came together and we created a lot of sort of branding and marketing opportunities for these ladies, and put these businesses together for them, and managed to actually make them happen. I think for me, that is something that I felt that was quite a success, because there's not many organizations out there that uses a lot of terminology and a lot of different visionary and marketing and strategies. It's all talk, and when it comes to implementation, you find that nothing happens. So I as someone that believes that I should be helping women and empowering women and inspiring and supporting them, I felt that I need to actually be the one that they would be able to trust. And I think trust is very, very important when you actually try and make these connections. So therefore, I have put myself forward. I have said, yes, your vision is going to come true, and it has. And we have a lot of women that have actually got successful brands. We could probably say, I mean, I shouldn't be saying that many, but there's about 30 we're very, very proud of. And they've managed to sort of raise and pick it up and start it from scratch just by pure enthusiasm, pure hard work, and yeah, they've become very successful. So I personally think that this is an achievement that I'm very proud of. And again, it all goes to, you know, sort of
excellent.
Being a facilitator. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dyna. That's amazing. How about if we can hear from Dr. Abdulnassir or Inger? Yes.
Inger, would you like to go?
Sure. I have a couple different situations, but I'm trying to think which one would be more applicable.
Shall we
Some
move?
of you,
Yeah.
I actually on the side I'm the founder of a restorative justice program here locally, and so it is my volunteer work, but I've developed this program that is mostly run by volunteers. And created a wonderful collaboration with all the community stakeholders that normally are silos, but the public health and human services, the school system, the sheriff's department, the court system, and then also our local indigenous population as well, having the chief tribal council on our advisory council is something that I've been doing on the side, so as to say, separate from Kaizen Solutions, but it's a passion, especially working with youth, trying to help them have second chances in their life. And so it's really been a time that I have had to let go of the reins and truly my daily practice of spending time opening, clearing, allowing myself to be open to so many different ways of doing the same thing, hearing, making mistakes, but then being gracious and towards myself, towards others, and learning how to cross multicultural differences and really appreciate and help this community think more about the benefit of those that are coming in the future, the next generation. And so that's been a very learning process for me in implementing what I've been talking about, but it truly has been humbling. I have to listen a lot to try to hear what others are trying to communicate and respect them for where they're coming, and then actually collaborate together, stay together. It's been going now for, I think this is the 7th year that we've been doing this. So we're trying to move forward, and it's working well. So
that's working very well. Thank you so much, Inga. That was amazing. Dr. Abdulnassir, please, can we have your experience as well with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've worked in a few organizations as either in academic affairs or in student affairs or international education and so forth. And in many of those institutions, I've been able to get a lot of these things done. But I can't do it by myself, obviously. You know, it's the team that helped get all these things done. And, you know, and so talking about how, you know, for instance, I give you an example just recently, the last 14 years, in 2 institutions, I've been able to develop my team and myself, we've been able to develop 8 associate degrees, 5 bachelor's degrees, and 1 master's degree. That's just in academic affairs, and then other things as well. And so when I put a committee together to develop these programs, you know, I come in with energy. I come in, and I think Dr. Kamel and Dr. Inga both talked about energy. So I come in with energy, I come in with excitement, and they can see at me. I talk about how great these programs are going to be. I talk also about how the experience of developing these programs is going to help them in their career. You know, how it's going to be really impact their careers and so forth. So optimism, you know, excitement, things that motivate them. And, you know, they just, you know, we come in and we set goals, we set timelines and so forth, and we're able to achieve all this together as a team. And usually, you know, I'm just there again to facilitate and to help delegate and coach and mentor. I usually put one of the faculty member or staff member to chair the committee. Again, give them that platform to serve as a leader. And, you know, they just, you know, exceed your expectations at the end of the day. So, you know, I'm proud. I cannot, and I could not have done it by myself. Obviously, nothing is done, you know, with one finger. You have to have all the 5 fingers. And so I've been blessed to have wonderful, wonderful faculty, staff, even students that have come across and have worked with, that have helped me as well grow as a leader, have taught me so much to grow as a leader.
Wow, that's amazing. And I would love to just listen more and more about you 3 speakers are amazing. And I mean, we didn't realize we passed 5 minutes to our closing session, but I just need to wrap it up. So we would like to invite you again on our show one time. And let's see, I want to hear more about this because you guys have amazing experience, and I'm sure my audience, as they are still watching it, so they are interested in your learnings as well. So this marks our end of the program, Business Success Strategy Program. As we know, in UK, the May month is recognized as a Mental Health Awareness Month. So in alignment with this important initiative, we are pleased to announce that the launch of our next Mindful Entrepreneur Program. So the next series, as we started with doing the Leadership Diplomacy series, and then we done the Business Success Strategy series, and the next one, which is starting from 23rd of May, again, 1 week break, and then Thursday onwards, same time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to tune in for Mindful Entrepreneur Program, where it will be the 6 episodes of learning, and you will learn a lot. That, trust me, being a leader, being a business people, being an entrepreneur, it's all about stress. But if you cannot manage the stress, how are you going to manage the stress for people who are following you? So let's tune in from 23rd of May onwards, same time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. once in a week, Mindful Entrepreneur, which will make you realize that how important it is to first put the mask on yourself before putting the mask on someone else. So that's mark our end session. Thank you so much. Good night and happy coming week. Enjoy your day.
Thanks for watching. This marks the end of this series, but there's more. Catch our new program live from 23rd May 2024.